Do you have a lot of these partial fuel canisters lying around and you're too afraid to take one on trail because you might run out? Well, let's consolidate these, shall we? Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. I do a lot of backpacking videos. I do a lot of just outdoor fun stuff, and I even do review videos of some of the gadgets and gear that I use on my trips and adventures. So if you're new here, consider subscribing right down there so you don't miss any of the awesome content coming your way. I ran into a little gadget as I was bebopping around Amazon, because when I'm bored I just hop on Amazon looking for the next thing that I don't need, right? But I came across this little gadget. It's kind of like a little two-way valve, and there's a bunch of companies that make them, and this particular one is made by Campingmoon. It's like a $20 little piece, and this thing is designed to consolidate these fuel canisters. So if you want to put fuel from here and put it into here, this will screw onto it and it'll do that transfer for you. Now that will help you keep full canisters and discard the partials throughout your camping season. But there are some rules. You can't just willy-nilly hook stuff up and start opening valves. You actually have to follow some directions here. The one thing to keep in mind about these canisters is the pressure. That's how the flames start. You have pressurized gas creating your flame. Now, you need a low pressure canister and a high pressure canister. A high pressure canister, guess what? Has high pressure, so which means it wants to push stuff out more. A cold canister will have less pressure, meaning it'll be a little bit more receptive for inward flow. So how you achieve that basically is the can that is going to receive the fuel will go into the freezer for only like 5 minutes. And the can that is to give fuel has to be warmed up. So just put it in a bowl of like mildly warm, a little hot water, not boiling, but in warm water. That way you create a pressure difference. The high pressure can is going to want to shoot. The cold pressure can will have room for the fuel to receive. So that's exactly what I did. 2 cans in the freezer that will get topped off. The giving can in some hot water to be given away. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Let me know if it doesn't make sense. While those are marinating in their hot and cold environments, let's take a look at this little gadget here. It's just a little, it looks like almost like a little camping stove, right? Like very similar to my BRS. Same concept, it's got a valve inside. They give you 2 little caps to protect your threads and from debris getting in there. And if you're curious, wow, that was loud. This little thing by itself weighs 35 grams. This is not something you would take with you backpacking. You do this stuff at home. You do this stuff in a safe environment, preferably outside in a garage or in a 1-bedroom apartment because you're poor. You will see on this, there is a outside and there is an inside. Take a look at that. So the outside is going to be your high pressure side. High pressure is going to have fuel coming out. The inside is for your cold can because the fuel is going to go into that can. Now, one big thing you have to keep aware of is the danger of overfilling cans. If you fill this can and it's way over capacity, you're going to have bulging issues. It could pop on you. You could rupture a can. It is very, very unsafe, which is why you should do this outside in a safe environment so you don't blow your face off. Okay, you won't blow your face off. It'll just pop and it'll be kind of dramatic for a second, all right? The cool part is I have larger cans, and a lot of times I will consolidate those into smaller cans because I like to backpack with these, but the bigger cans you can actually save a little bit of money on. So the big filler cans will fill into these smaller backpacking cans. These are the 2 cans I have in the freezer because I'm going to top these off because the warm can, it's got almost nothing in it. I want to empty this so I can get this recycled. Now you have to pay attention to weights, okay? This little can here weighs 211 grams. That's with the fuel and the canister itself. As far as fuel goes, it's 110 grams for just fuel. But since you can't separate the fuel and the canister and weigh them, you want to go off of gross weights. So the small can, 211. Do not go past 211. The bigger cans are about 374. That's total, fuel and the canister. This is nearly empty. I mean, there's a little bit left in there. This one can definitely use some, so this is cold. This cannot weigh more than 374 grams. Right now, it weighs 301, so I can put 73 grams in there. This particular one cannot weigh over 211 grams, and it currently weighs 186, so I can put about 30 grams of fuel in there. Now this is a process to where you want to fill some, disconnect it, weigh it, fill some, and it's an incremental process. It's not just a large chute. So this is my hot can. This is going to go into the out portion of this valve. Be sure the valve is closed, otherwise you're going to get spraying fuel everywhere. So this goes in the out portion. Screw it on fast, okay? I'm going to top off this little canister first. This is the cold canister, also known as your cold in canister. You can do it. Here we go. Okay. The fuel going out will be on top. Fuel going in will be on the bottom. And I hope you can hear this, but if I open this up, can you hear that? It's definitely going in. High pressure, low pressure. I'm just going to do it just for like a couple seconds here. Close the valve, and I'm going to unscrew the cold canister. And now with the fuel, which is hardly any left in here, this now weighs 200 grams. I can go another 11 grams, but I think it's pretty well topped off. This is just about dead. There's probably nothing left to give on this one. But you can balance out all your cans. If you have a bunch of these and they're all like a quarter full, a third full, you can consolidate all these. Just make sure you get yourself a scale. Weigh each can. Make sure you do not go over the threshold. These little ones, like I said, total weight on your scale, 211 grams. If you go to 212, 213, you're fine. Just don't go to 300. You're going to have issues. The same with these big cans. They're right around 374 grams in total. So you fill some, unscrew it, weigh it. Fill some, unscrew it, weigh it. And you want to be sure to stay in those parameters. That way you can be safe. Now, preferably you do this outside, especially if you're new. But, you know, if you know what you're doing and you keep your wits about you, you know, you can probably do it in your YouTube studio. I don't know. But this little gadget it's pretty cool. It's very simple to use, provided you know what you're doing. And just keep this in your gear drawers or stuff at home, and just consolidate cans. If people have partials and they don't want them, take everyone's partials. Consolidate your own cans. Save yourself a little bit of money and save yourself some room by keeping all these partial fuel canisters out of your fuel drawer and kits. You have any questions about this little thing? Let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions. I'll put a link to where I got this on Amazon down in the description below. Just a really cool little gadget that makes a ton of sense. Go out, get one, and make your fuel canister life a little bit easier. I'll see you on the next one. Yeah, she's dead. Good, 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 good.